Hello and welcome to another IELTS essay discussion. The question today is, some people believe we need to pay higher taxes in order for the government to build population's basic needs and services. Others say the government should find other ways to get funds for it. What should the government do in your opinion? So this is an opinion-based question. You can click on the link below this YouTube video to go through the sample answer, and it explains the structure as well as a number of other things. However, the focus of this question is to brainstorm some of the points. We'll be going through some of the ideas and try to understand a few things in this question. Well, before forming an opinion, you need to have a fair idea of what exactly does basic needs and services mean. So what exactly do you mean by basic needs and services? Well, these are um, mostly infrastructure related things. So these are mostly infrastructure related issues. So what exactly do I mean by infrastructure? Well, infrastructure, essentially the meaning of this term is that if you have this building and this is the ground level, and above you have a multi-story building, you must be having a few things which are below the structure. Below this structure. This is called infra, that is below structure. So what is infrastructure? Things which are below the overall structure, and that is the foundation of things. So there are a few things that are a foundation to the whole society, or to the whole economy. And what exactly are those things? Those are basic needs and services. So let me bifurcate this into two components before we start forming an opinion. Physical infrastructure can be of two types. This can be a physical infrastructure as well as a social infrastructure. So what exactly do we mean by physical needs and services or infrastructure? These are essentially related to roads, public transport. I'm just naming a few roads as well as highways, some public transport, power infrastructure, water supply, portable drinking water. This is also an infrastructure need, and most of the developing countries and a few developed countries have failed at this count, but we'll come to that later. Within social infrastructure are those things which are related to health. So there are hospitals. Hospitals fall under this category. Social infrastructure also includes some safety related things. These are the police, the security related issues. The police, the fire department, the firefighters, those services fall under the social infrastructure. Even you can say in some cases pension, that also falls under social infrastructure. So yes, this seems to be as if, not seem, but this is actually what exactly a government should provide to its citizens. This is a government's responsibility. Now let us come to the question. Having understood this, the question is that these services, all these services, they need to be financed in some way. And there are two ways. The question says there are two ways to finance these services. And number one is by paying higher taxes. And number two is the other ways. So if you're not sure of the other ways of financing this thing, until and unless you're not sure, you cannot proceed with the answer. So you have to form a fair enough idea. What does other mean? And we'll come to that soon. Um, Now, what do you mean by hard taxes? You are already paying some taxes, some percentage of your total income as taxes. So, for example, you're paying 30% as tax to the government, 30% of your total income, 30% of total income. You're paying as tax. And the question says that the one way to finance this infrastructure is to increase taxes. And the other ways or include, well, first way is that the government can borrow the money. Governments can borrow money from the market. So you must be aware that a lot of governments today are under debt. United States is under trillions of dollars of debt. China, India, these are all the governments are they're debt fueled governments. They are basically debt fueled governments. So they are basically fed by the debt, and that debt is basically from the market, from the banks. So there is one way that the governments can borrow the funds from the market and finance these services. The other way is that there can be a public-private partnership. This is called PPP. This is public-private partnership. And you will see the public-private partnership thing in the sample answer as well. So what exactly is this? It is, as the name suggests, it's a public-private partnership. So public is the government, private are some companies, and these companies and government come together to fuel or to create physical and social infrastructure. So there, for instance, there's a hospital. Let us take example of a social infrastructure. Let me use, yeah. Let us talk about a social infrastructure. And social infrastructure is a hospital. So what the PPP model says is that this hospital land will be provided by the government, and the building will be constructed by a company. And as a result of this partnership, since the company gets land at a subsidized rate or at almost no cost, it will be doing some services for the poor or for the citizens, services for citizens. So there is an alliance going on over here. So there are two ways to finance these things, and I've discussed both of them in the answer. Basically, what I've done is, since this is an opinion-based question, I have created an opinion that okay, both are necessary. In a few cases, this is required, while in the others, you need to follow. I'm sorry. While in some cases higher taxes are required, in others you need to have some alternate sources of finance. So what exactly should be the structure? There's an introduction, there's body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and a conclusion. So introduction will basically be just mentioning your opinion, as I have done in the sample answer below. Mention your opinion along with a few things that are that you'll find in the sample answer. Body paragraph 1 will be on your first opinion. Why higher taxes? Why do you need higher taxes to finance some of these basic needs and services? Then why other things? Because I've taken a balanced opinion. My opinion is a balanced opinion that okay, we need one as well as the other. So you need one as well as two. And of course, there's a conclusion. So go through the answer below, and if you have any doubt, feel free to drop me an email, and my email address is eltechiles@gmail.com, and you can drop anything in the comments box below, and I'll try to reply as soon as possible. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel and just stay tuned for more interesting stuff. Goodbye.